Okay, so what have we got here? Well, continuing on with the Evolve skateboards and the replacement of cells, I've got here the Evolve Hadian board that I replaced all the cells. The cells are 21700s and they had to have their own nickel strips, being wider, as in 21 across the cells and 70 deep. And the black cell holders that I created through my belt-driven 3D printer. So I got a manufacturer in China to send me those, and then when it came to the 18650s, the smaller cells, I had to get those made, and they both arrived within a week of the orders. That's including the manufacturing and delivery to my door, which is brilliant. So I'm all set up. I've got 100 of each, so I'll be ordering a lot more in due course. And so in this case here, the Hadian, all the cells were zero, literally 0 volts, so they were completely dead. Whilst on the Evolve GTR board, this came out before this fella here, the cells, the first lot of cells near the BMS and the motor controller were around about the 2 volt mark, and then the rest of them, the other half, was about 2.7. Now you could turn around and say, well, 2.7, that's great, you could reuse those. I don't do that. I don't believe that's a smart idea. The reason being is because the older cells they get, the higher the internal resistance are, the more crystals have formulated inside the chemistry, and therefore you got a good chance of the battery becoming unbalanced very much sooner than it should. The idea is to replace all of them. So this one in particular has been urgent. Well, all of them are urgent. Some of them I've had 6 months. And if it wasn't for that, I would have been in a pickle still. And I mean, I could have got just a generic one, but I needed that. Reason being is because I needed to get a printer. I mean, there's only so much money I've got, but anyway, I needed to build a riser like this on the battery cover, which sits underneath the deck. And when I say board, in the skateboard world, the board is the whole thing. All right, not that board. That's not the board. That's a battery board. Okay. Anyway, so in some cases, like in the case of the Evolve 1, there's not enough room to put the cylindrical type. And in this case, this GT, which is earlier than the GTR, much earlier than the Hadian, but newer than the 1. Okay, so it's in between that model and that model, is the GT series, GT, GTX. And the aim is to be able to put cylindrical cells in there. Now, in the GT series, they used the pouch style, which is the silver type squarish looking cells or batteries, as you find in your iPhones, etc. And to get the either the 18650s or the 21700s to fit in here, I need to increase the depth that this is, and that's where this riser comes into it and then bolts up underneath the board itself. Okay, now with this is my 4th or 5th iteration, and it's pretty much right in terms of length and width. The thickness, the width of the actual is not too bad, so I'm not overly fussed by that. Now this material is PLA plus. I'm not looking at PLA. I'd rather have TPU because TPU is more rubbery like. I say rubbery, but it still is quite stiff. So the idea is that when the board flexes, it will flex as well and accommodate any stretching or compression. But on this fella here, I've got to put little circles with little holes in it so the bolts can go through them and bolts it all together. That's what's happening there. And the same for this one. I want to replace the pouch style because there's quite a few people still got ones. I've got one. That's where this battery pack came from, and I've sold it to this customer so that he doesn't need to go through that rigmarole. But what I'll be doing next, after I've got this one right for the GTX series, for the ones which is going to be a lot easier, they're straight edge, all right, there and there with the little curves in the corner and wide enough to put holes through it, the riser holes through it, so that I can then put either. Okay, it just depends what the customer wants and how much you want to spend, what the budget is. And that is the trick that little fella there will do. Being belt driven, I could have something tens of meters long if I wanted to, but no. So in this case here, this is very important. What I've got to do next on both of these and a few others that I've got is I've got to turn these into plastic rivets. Okay, so they're part of the battery holder, and what you do is you melt down this post here and turn it into effectively a little rivet. So it's mechanically bonded to the board, the battery board, all right, circuit board, just like the original would be. However, I'm still waiting for the component that works on this particular soldering iron, and that component would be the element like so, but on the end would be a cylinder with a dome inside to then push down onto that peg there, post there, to make it into a circular dome and therefore hold the battery even further to the board over and above the nickel strips that are soldered to the board. So that's how the original is, and that's how I'm going to put it back together again. Now that the part that I need hasn't arrived. I ordered it. It's a 6.5. The holes here are 6, but the piece is 6.5 in diameter internally, so that when it goes over these posts, it's fine. It'll do it perfectly well. I'm not sure the height needed, but I've done them a little bit longer than I believe I've done it longer than necessary, height wise. It may mean that I may have to trim some of these, but this particular board is what I'll be using as my reference, that the trial and testing board, even though it's a customer's. This one also needs to be done, but it needs to be done before Tuesday, or Tuesday at the latest. So in two or 3 days time, the customer is moving up to Karratha, which is, well, I don't know, about 1,500 kilometers north of Perth, to live and to work. So I'm desperate to get this to get going. Now, I have connected up to the board itself, motor controller, and it all works perfectly fine. The voltages are excellent. They're pretty much balanced between them. Well, in actual fact, they are all the same, practically within 20 or 30 millivolts. So it's totally balanced. The other thing is that once I fix these up, turn them into little rivets, then I can assemble the board and then give it to the customer. But critically, I've got to get that part ASAP, not just for this board and not just for this board, but for about 2 or 3 other boards that I am doing. So everything is coming to the point where I'll be looking at supplying kits, and the kits would be basically your nickel strips, will be the holders as well, anything else is up to you really, or the person that buys the kits if they want to do it themselves. But honestly, if you haven't got a decent spot welder, and if you haven't got the proper plastic rivet setup on the soldering iron, if you haven't got the right soldering iron, you've got to really, this is what you need, this type of thing where you can change out the tips. Okay, that is excellent. Then you're likely to do a decent job and not have any problems. Now, when you do it, of course, you have to, like I did, you have to remove the BMS, so you ensure that you don't short it, damage it, destroy it when you're removing and or replacing the cells in there. So that's what I've done there. So all good. That one definitely works. I haven't tested this one to see if it works. This one here, I'm assuming that it's just the cells that are dead, and possibly that the circuitry is fine, and that the solder joints here of those two posts there, which are typically a typical problem of the Hadians. But other than that, she should be all ready to go. This fella here would be probably another couple of iterations to get it perfectly right, and that will be part of a kit as well for the GTX series. And then the riser for this will also be a kit if anyone's got a Evolve 1, and if they want, I can build them their battery to their requirements, as in like whether it's an 18650 certain capacity or a 21700 and again certain capacity, etc. Now, other things I've done is that the Marzen battery, which is an aftermarket battery for the GT series, and also for the GTR series like this, that gap there is where the motor controller fits, okay, which is done from underneath and up. And what they've done is Marzen, the battery itself has, like in this case, the BMS separate, but what they've done is they've put the BMS on top, and there's not enough height, and so they have this further away from the bottom of the battery cover. And to do that, they have this riser again, which goes in, and you that means the whole thing, the motor controller is lowered, and therefore you're able to put the BMS in. Now, what my aim is that, I mean, I've done this for people who want a replacement. If they've still got the Marzen battery, or they're going to continue using the Marzen battery. But the aim is to avoid people having to do, soldering and fiddle-fart arsing around and trying to get the connections right and that kind of thing. The aim that I have got is that I supply a battery with the BMS built in, all right, as one piece, and then you cable to the motor controller. Same as this fella here, the Evolve 1, the aim is to provide a battery with the BMS built in. When I say built in, there's a good chance that I'll be able to put it in a frame, so it's all, possibly using that stuff to put it in, and therefore it's more like the traditional, batteries that you get in your scooters. Now, the other thing is, which the main reason why before I got hold of Evolve, scooter issues, this resolves as well, and particularly the Carbo. And if you're American, probably don't understand that, but Carbo is Kaabo. All right, the Carbo brand. The Mantis model, the originals. I don't know about the new one, because apparently there's a new one coming out, real fancy-dancy, sleek-looking thing. I don't like it. But anyway, that's just a personal taste rather than anything else. But the older ones, the problem is that the battery inside, they have the cells on the side because the battery compartment isn't tall enough by about 5 mils to have them standing up and make it more compact and therefore greater range. The older style Mantis has a lot of gaps in it. All right, so that does quite limit a really good scooter. And what I'm doing there is, what I'm able to do there again is build a riser for the mantises for people then to get a new battery that is traditionally upright, and therefore able to have greater capacity and greater range. So that's where I am today. So compared to the last video, I had stripped down both these boards down to bare, to nothing, and I've got to the stage now where they're ready to have their plastic riveted. And all the others that I've got, say about 3 other boards that I've got to do. Once I've got those out of the way and got all these out of the way, I'll be then going back to my Tektronix portable oscilloscope and nickel metal hydride or NiCad batteries. I bought this new and it's crap. It's too old or something, I don't know. So I've got lithium ion, same diameter as that, and the idea is to join 2 together with a extender like that to get the length, and have the metal strip running up and also wrapped around. So basically it will become identical to one of these with the and also in the extender it's got a little slot in it to feed in the electronic components necessary to complete the whole job. Now what I'm be also looking at is the idea would be where you can actually charge this up on its own externally or inside the actual fella here. Okay, I think it can do it, I don't know, but anyway, even if you can't, it doesn't really matter. The fact of the matter is that you either would be looking at connecting that up to possibly one I make out of the 3D printer, and you just slide it in like you would do with these fellas here. And or if you've got the original, just change the electronics out by just a generic, say standard off the shelf components to then to slot your battery in to then charge it. So if you've got that, I'll be able to provide components to for people to do that, and also provide a new style battery, because these are portable and exceptionally good oscilloscopes. Yeah, I still haven't got this up and running. I sort of haven't, but again, as soon as I get these out of the way and get these other bits and pieces, I'm going to get back into this, because I want to be able to sell batteries with my own BMSs, not ones I design, but certainly ones that I can actually fully test, because like these, I cannot fully test because I don't have all the specs or the testing parameters. They don't hand them out. And so the idea is to be able to find a supplier where I can. There's 2 suppliers at the moment that are providing me the information that I need to check the parameters and make sure they are actually working to spec. So when I build a battery, complete battery with the BMS, then if there's any problems with the battery, I can then pull out the BMS and do a full test on it. Because currently I can't do that on any of the batteries that are out there. C'est la vie.